So first let me explain a survey, an experiment, and an observational study. And I'm going to do it with Ingenuity. How many of you either know what Ingenuity is or you've taken Ingenuity class in this room? Okay, so it's online learning, correct? And we want to know, do we believe that the online learning that we offer, I'm just making this up as an example to explain these three. We want to know if that is a positive learning experience for students. Are students learning is our question. Is it a positive learning experience? So one way to do it would be to conduct a survey. We're going to conduct a survey to see what the feedback we get from students, okay? The second way would be to do an experiment. For instance, we're going to have two classes, or we could just say one, we can make it simple, and all the students in that class would take Algebra 3 mainstream, and they'd take it at Ingenuity. And then we'd have another class of Algebra 3-4 with a teacher. And the students would take the class, and at the end of the year, they could take the AZ Merit, which would show us how much learning is actually happening, and we could compare the results to see, in general, are students learning more in an Ingenuity class, an online learning, or are they learning more with a teacher in a classroom? Okay, it's an experiment. Observational study is we literally could walk in, let's say 5, 6, 7 times into a mainstream Algebra 3-4 class, and just watch the kids. We're going to watch and see what type of learning do we believe is happening. Or we go in to do the exact same with Ingenuity. We walk into an Ingenuity class and we just watch 6 to 7 times in one classroom with the same kids. And we make a decision based on what we observe. Okay? Keep that in mind. We're going to now take these three types and we're going to apply it to the three questions. So I'll read them out loud. Are people generally satisfied with how things are going at the country? We want to know that. Are people happy with the way the country is going? Do you think that can best be done with a survey, doing an experiment, or an observational study? The next one, do college students learn basic accounting better in the classroom or an online course, kind of like Ingenuity or being taught in the room with a teacher? And lastly, how long do teachers wait on average after they ask the class a question? So I asked you a question, how long do I wait before I provide the answer? All right, this right here is going to be observation. You are observing what's happening. So you're observing classrooms and you are actually, watching and you're timing to see how long after a question is asked is the class provided an answer. That's an observational study. The next one, people, are they generally satisfied with the way the country is going? We're going to conduct a survey to get the answers. And the last one is we have two different groups. We have an online course and we have a classroom that's taught by a teacher. We're going to let those two classes, those two basic accounting classes happen throughout the semester, and then we're going to provide some type of a test that shows what learning is happening. Is it happening more in a basic classroom or an online class? So this is going to be an experiment. One study of cell phones and the risk of brain cancer looked at a group of 469 people who have brain cancer. And the investigators matched the cancer patients with a person of the same sex and age and race who did not have brain cancer, and then asked about the cell phones. And we want to know, they came up with, our data suggests that the use of handheld cellular phones is not associated with the risk of brain cancer. So although we have two different groups, they are observing what's happening to both groups. They're not applying something. They're not applying something that'd be like, hey, let's put this cell phone up to your brain, and I want you to hold it up to your brain for a year, and then tell me, let's see if you start to develop some type of cancer. They're just observing what's happening between two different groups that are similar in age, sex, and race. This is an example of an observational study. Below, an educational software company wants to compare the effectiveness of computer animation for teaching biology with the textbook. So this is a class where you have two different biology classes. One biology class is only going to learn using a textbook. A different biology class is going to learn using some type of teacher or some type of computer technology with animation. Adrian, go stand in back right now. Go stand in back. Okay? And then we're going to compare the two. We're going to test and compare the results of the two. This is an example of an experiment.